Hey, Coach. Good afternoon. How are you?
How you doing? I had to wait till they get 6 feet away from me. So
No, I understand. So with practice today, I know you don't have the whole team, but are there things that you're focusing on to kind of get this team prepared for the season more so than others?
yeah, defensively, it's been a main focus for us. Defense, transition defense, rebounding. So that's been a main focus for us. I think the offense is something that will become something that we do later on, especially as we get more people in. But uh, defensively, I think it's the thing that we've focused on more so than we have in the past.
And then I got to ask you, I don't know if you've seen the draft last night, but your thoughts on Najee Harris coming to your Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So once I got that, call, that notification, I just jumped over my couch like I did the little.
All right, fair enough. Let's see what he does for you. Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Great. Nov, N-O-V, I'm sorry, I can't see your full name here.
You're on mute, no.
I think you're still on mute. Yep, let's just unmute.
Right back to mute.
All right, we'll come back to
Am
you.
I muted?
There we go. Hi.
There you go.
Hey, Coach Wade. I just want to ask you a little bit about how Diamond is coming along. Since last year she left the bubble early, I just want to ask you, what have you seen from her so far in practice, and how she's getting along with the new additions of Candace and that kind of stuff.
And she's good. Yeah, she looks good. She's working hard. She's back to where we need her to be. And now it's just a part of getting her rhythm and in game shape. But everything is good with her. They're meshing pretty well. They're trying to figure out each other's spots and stuff like that. So it's a process, but we're happy with where she is right now.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
James K.
Hey, Coach. Good to see you again. Just thinking about how important Azrae Stevens is to this team and how her season ended last year. I have two questions for you. Just how is she progressing, and how do you and the trading staff have a plan for managing her minutes at all this season, or is she just ready to go without having to go through that process?
I think the important thing is we have to have a plan to save us from ourselves and save us from her. I think last year, she looked so good in our system that we actually forgot once you're coaching the game that she's coming off of an injury. And so we out there and we're like, hey, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. And she's just flowing because she fits us so well. But she's coming along. She's good. She's here. And, we're just, we have something set up for her where we don't, overextend her as far as minutes are concerned and things of that nature. And so you'll probably see some limitations as far as minutes, like not anything that would, be something you would notice, like 20 something minutes. We just don't want to get her in the 30s early. But at some point she will get there. But we just want to make sure that we, kind of protect ourselves, protect us from ourselves.
Actually, it's kind of the same thing with Diamond. I mean, she's also coming up. I mean, I know you just touched on it now, but or the question before this, but do you also have the same mindset with Diamond as well, making sure that she's someone that likes to go full throttle as well? I mean, do you have a minutes plan for her as well?
No, that's a different situation. I don't think so. I think Diamond would be Diamond when the season starts. So we're going to play her. We just have to find her rhythm. I think that's more so of that. But they've been going hard, and so they'll be fine. It's the fact that we have so many post players. We have Candace, and we have Steph. We have Estu. We have Ruthie, and potentially we have Natasha also. So, it's going to be, you can kind of protect her a little bit once you have those kind of numbers. And but as far as Diamond is concerned, she's in a good place, and she's probably going to be anxious to get out there and make up for lost time.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Cheryl Royce-Dow.
Hi, Coach. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good. Kahleah Copper did some coaching during this off season. How has that possibly changed her and changed her mindset, maybe a little more respect for you as a head coach?
Made us closer. We talked throughout the season about different stuff, about sets, about, her players. And, we talked about a lot of stuff. And it was cool. I was proud of her, the way she approached it. And you could tell it brought a lot of leadership qualities out in her as well. So I was happy about it. And, I think, her having a breakout season last year also helped find her voice a little bit more. So you're going to probably see a more vocal and more expressive Copper, and I'm good with that.
As you mentioned that, it will probably translate. And so it is, how great is that, because you do have Courtney and you do have other players, like they have another player that could be on the court to get your point across, to get your plays across.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good. I mean, we're focusing on communication and always having a live atmosphere. And for that to happen, you just can't have one or two people talking. It's gonna have to be across the board. So we're happy with her progression, with her growth, and with her maturity. We just look for her to do even more.
Thank you.
Stu Favor, how are you, Stu?
Hey, great. Nice to see everybody. Nice to see you, James. How you doing?
Hey, Steve, thanks.
You guys arguably have one of the larger training camp rosters. It looked like 21 according to what I saw today.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I was gonna see what exactly are you looking to do when you pare it down? Like what are you looking to fill on this year's roster that maybe could have used a little tweaking last year?
I think the difference is between this year and previous years is that we have a protocol that we have to abide by. So it's not because you're on the training camp roster that you're here practicing with us. Like Snood and Allie, they just got here to the States, and Stu is landing in like a couple of hours. And so they're actually on the training roster, but they're not here with us. And once they get here, they're going to have to go through a protocol where they can't practice. And all the teams have to abide by those protocols. And so we might have 20, 21, 19, 20, 21 on the training camp roster, but we actually only have 13 or 14 that's here in practice, and so what we're doing is we're going really hard. And we have to have extra players as far as reps are concerned, and teaching and stuff like that, because it can extend. It can extend, and it can get heavy on their legs, and we don't want to risk any injuries or anything so early. So we need those numbers, and when our players get in with players that have been on our roster, you'll see us kind of cut it down a little bit. But at the same time, we want for a healthy training camp, and so we're trying to get good players, develop them as well. Because the players that you have that you might unfortunately have to release or waive, you still want to see them make the WNBA. So these first training camps for them are really, really important.
And then just a quick follow-up: do you see the you have some tough but great choices to make? Is that a nice luxury, or is that kind of a pain?
I mean, it's a nice luxury, I think, for the other coaches to kind of, but for you, I mean, I hate this time of year because I love it and I hate it because you love to start the season. That means the season's around the corner, but as time goes into training camp, you have to tell players that, they're not going to be coming back, and, you're going to keep an eye on them, and which is true, but, it's just tough. This is their dream, and their dream doesn't start and end with me, but I'm a part of it. And so to have that key in their hands, it's just a tough call when you do that. So I feel bad because I have to do that every year. It's just tough.
I hear you. Thanks so much.
Zachary Draves.
All righty. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Jack. Thanks. Best question of the. That was the best question, right?
That was the best question, I know. Why you do this to me, Kelly?
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
That's okay. So I just
That was
wanted to
Jake. I'm over here. That was my mistake.
Thank
I know
you.
it's only been a few days into training camp, but how are you assessing the adjustment for Shyla and Natasha?
Charlotte's not here yet. She has some visa, not visa issues. It's just we got some paperwork back late, and so she should be here Monday or Tuesday. So she's not here yet. She's anxious to get here. I think she's maybe sleeping at the airport, just ready to jump on a plane. But we can't wait to get her here. Natasha has been, she's been really good for us. You don't realize how long she is and how disruptive she is on defense until you start going up and down and start playing. She's actually been so active as far as deflecting balls and getting block shots. She's probably gotten a block on everybody that we have in camp. So it's been pretty, good. It's a lot of information that the rookies have to digest, and so they're dealing with it. They're coming along, but it's tough when you make that jump from college to the WNBA because you need things very clear, very clean, pristine, and everything has to be as far as timing is concerned. So that's always the issue with the rookies coming in. So she's dealing with it really well.
Mhm.
Thank you, Coach.
Mhm.
Allison Moran.
Hi, Coach. Nice to see you today.
Thanks, Allison.
We are only a couple of weeks away from actual preseason starting, and you had mentioned defense. And I wanted to find out if you had given any thought to the rosters and the rotations and things like that, and particularly the role of Steph in all of this.
Well, we're actually, I'm actually ready because the preseason starts tomorrow. Actually,
Yeah.
it starts tomorrow. But for
We're
us,
so close.
for us, it starts in a little bit. But defensively, we've been really up on our communication, and Steph has been a big part of that. She's in great shape. She's really motivated. She had a personal coach this year that helped her get to a point where she's going to be good once the season starts. You're going to see a Steph that's, highly intense, more agile, more mobile, and we're happy about that. And she's going to be a big part of our defense. So, no, I'm pleased with where she is. It was a little tough for everybody today. So I made it hard on everybody today, but she responded really well.
That's awesome. With regards to the rotation, can you address a little bit of what you're thinking?
I know. I'm open. I'm really open. We have a good team, and so if we're talking about Steph, she's going to be a big part of our rotation, wherever she is starting or whatever it may be. She's going to be a big part of it. And having a player like Candace and Slew and Quigley and Kyle and Diamond all coming back, it's just it's going to make for some fun lineups. With Z and Estu and all those players. It's going to make for some fun lineups.
There's no question you got a very deep squad this year. So I'm looking forward to it. Thanks so much.
Thanks, me too.
Sylvia.
Hi, Coach. This is Sylvia from Beyond Women's Sports. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Sylvia?
Good. Just a quick question, two-part. What's like your favorite moment of training camp, and do you have like fun scrimmages with the team?
Favorite moment of training camp?
Yes.
Nobody could get a stop on Ka. And so I showed them how to defend Ka. And so I D'd her up and I got to stop. That's it happened. It happened. It's video. Video out there too. So
we need to see that.
It's out there. It's out there.
Yeah. And any fun scrimmages you have during training camp?
Yeah, we actually had some fun scrimmages. Like they've been going really, really hard at each other. It's been really competitive. It's gotten a little chippy at moments. So it's good. We're playing a lot. We're playing a lot, and defense has been a main focus. And no, it's been good.
Thank you, Coach.
Great. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing, but Casimo.
Hey, and to be fair, Ka was taking it easy out on me. I closed out short, so I wouldn't have to guard her. She just shot it just to shut me up.
Hi, Coach. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing? Cosimo.
Yeah, that's right. It's correct pronunciation.
Gotcha,
so, man. I wanted to ask, with Gabby Williams not being with the team because she committed to Team France, how are you going to handle the situation? Because obviously it's going to be a tough training camp with some decisions to be made.
Right.
So is she going to actually come mid-season? And if that's the case, how are you going to handle it? Because I mean, there's championship aspirations, so it's going to be tough for her to come in midway and like get up to speed.
I don't know. Gabby's been. I mean, I've coached Gabby for 2 years, so I don't know if that'll be tough for her out of all people, especially someone that we've used at every position. We talk about a smart player, athletic player, so that'll be up to her. Like if she, I'm always trying to be supportive of the players and what they want to do. So, it's still something that's ongoing. I don't have a concrete schedule as of yet. So, we're just playing it by ear. But in the meantime, I'm just focused on what we have in front of us, and that's all I can do. But I understand where she's coming from, and how this is an opportunity for her, and so I just try to be supportive of all my players. So that's just how I take it.
Okay, thank you. I've got another international follow-up. So with the draft process of Shala Hill, did you have the chance to go there and watch her firsthand, or with the COVID restrictions, you didn't get to go there and watch her play?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch her play. I think if I would have had the opportunity to, I would have. But the fact that once you fly into Australia and going into Australia, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks in a hotel, and it would have just been too complicated. And they actually finished in December. So it just wasn't a great opportunity.
Okay, so we're both the same, that we only got tape. She looks great, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. But I don't think we're the same. I watched every the last 3 years.
Yeah.
If you did that, then
yeah, I caught the playoffs tournament in Australia, and she looked great. So
you're good, right?
Yeah, she's good.
Now the issue is if you think the thing that's going to make one of us look smart or both of us look smart is if she can come over and do the same thing she did over there. So we'll see.
I trust you, so I'm gonna stick to what you say.
Thank you, Coach.
So we're going down together if we go down.
Let's go down then. Let's keep it up. Let's not go down.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Bye.
Thanks, man.
Sue, did you have another question? Sue, Favor? Okay, I guess not. Thank you so much, James. We'll see you on Sunday, because tomorrow's an off day, and talk to you then.
Thank you, guys. Wear
Thank
your
you.
mask.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Appreciate you guys.
You too.
Don't nobody come on here. I don't want to hear it.
Hi, Ka. Thanks for joining us. We will start
Hello.
with Wilson.
Kyle, what's going on? How are you?
I am amazing. What's up?
Not much. So, I mean, I got to ask you because he talked about it before you got in here.
Now, here we go.
He said he went easy on you, though. That's what he said.
He went easy on me and I took a jumper. Come on, make that make sense.
Listen, I'm just
If I was
telling you
here, James was where you are right now, closing out.
But he said no one could guard you. So what's been going on this offseason to make you that unstoppable pretty much right now?
I actually got a chance to just rest, and I was coaching, seeing the game differently, being able to help the college girls and also help myself, seeing the game from a different perspective. And I think that was good for me in the rest. I think I came in refreshed and ready to go.
Gotcha. So I got to ask you how you feel about Philly's pick last night in the draft.
You know what? What was it, football?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I do not watch. I only watch it like later, when it's get close to the good times, like the playoffs and stuff like that. Sorry.
That's okay. No worries. No worries. So if I can, I just want to ask you one quick more question. When the schedule came out, I noticed that you were playing Seattle again on your birthday in Seattle. Did you have something to do with that one about, because I know last season it didn't go the way you wanted it to, but it was still your birthday. So.
No, but it's funny because everybody knows that I'm always locked in on birthdays and especially my birthday. And we were like after camp talking and I was like, yeah, we're going to be in Seattle on my birthday.
Well, you still got a bunk cake coming, so get ready for it.
Oh yeah, that's what I like to hear.
All right. Appreciate you, Kyle. Thank you.
Thank you.
Annie Costable from Sun Times.
Hey, Kyle, thanks for your time. I wanted to hear more about, getting some time off because you're not the only player who talked about or has talked about this offseason being different in that a lot of you guys didn't play overseas. You actually got a proper offseason to rest or to dedicate time specifically to training, etc. So to that point, I wonder what your perspective is now. Do you think more players are going to try to put more emphasis on getting a proper off season, and do you think players can even afford to do that?
I think when the time is right, everybody knows their body and they know when they're able to take that break. And for me, it just happened just after an overwhelming bubble season and opportunity just finding me being able to go coach. So I think with the new CBA, yeah, it gives us got a little bit of money to sit on, take a couple months off. But yeah, for real, I think that it's really important for you to find time to take the off season to just be able to relax and just be able to work on your game. It really takes you to the next level coming into another season where you're able to take time and just dedicate it to working on your skills.
Yeah, and just a quick follow-up, can you go into the difference that it is, getting a proper off season where you're training versus, an overseas season where you're just going right back to playing? Like, what is the difference as far as stepping your game up?
So I think I think you still have time to work on your game, but it's so much more because you're playing so many minutes over there. So you're probably playing 40 minutes a game there. And on your off days, you don't really want to take the time to work on your game and actually put in that time. So it's like in the game, you got to work on your game. You got to work on the stuff you've been working on in the game.
Yeah.
I think that, it's just harder to play 40 minutes and then to come back home and, come here and play the minutes, whatever minutes you play. So I think it's less pounding. So I was able to just work out a little bit. I did USA basketball and stuff like that. So it also gave me a chance to stay in shape. And, I was also coaching. So I could hop in practice anytime I wanted, just for me to keep my wind up. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cheryl raced out, WBZ.
Finally unmuted. How you doing today, Kahleah? How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. I asked James about you and your coaching, and he said one thing that got you two closer together. What are some of the intangibles you've learned that maybe you could translate it to what you're doing, be able, this preseason and also during the season to help the communication with the team?
For me, one thing that really stood out was just paying attention to the small things. Always, I knew that was really important. But for instance, I was doing scout, so I was telling my players, I'm like, this is a left-handed driver. Do not let her go left. And they were letting players go left, so really bothering me. But I was thinking back to James and our staff giving us scouting reports, and we just not following it, exactly to what they told us to do. So I laughed with James about it. Like, I would never mess up a scouting report ever again, because I appreciate the time that you guys put into it and into helping us prepare for games. So I think that that's one thing that we really have to lock in on. And I think we were communicating constantly, because I was always picking his brain about different schemes and offenses and things like that. So he really helped me this offseason.
Will you start using that, a little bit more as a player, that maybe you start scouting teams for yourself and maybe to help?
No, I'll let the coaches do their job, but I'll take it really serious.
Thank you.
Cosimo?
Hi, Kahleah. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So, Coach said you were basically unstoppable, and that's great to hear. But who was somebody else that impressed you in this first couple of days of training camp as being like in great shape or coming out the gate real strong?
Candace has been really good for us, especially at a leader standpoint. She's definitely, we're connecting on this back door and this pick and roll action, but she's helping me see the game differently, not rushing first side actions, and just helping me see different options, and challenging me defensively, challenging me to get out in passing lanes and to get steals. And I think that that's been really good for me, especially with my defensive growth and what's needed for the team. So I think that she's done a really good job, whether it was challenging me, whether it was being a leader out there on the court, or scoring when we needed it.
Okay, thank you. Short follow-up. Is she taking on a lot of playmaking duties with Zlut not already on the team?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I think I'm okay. Is she taking on a lot of playmaking duties with Zlut not yet on the team right now?
I think she's doing pretty much everything, whether it's passing, scoring, talking, being a leader, just being that for us, what we needed. So I think she's pretty much doing everything she can possibly do.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Allison Moran.
Hey, Kahleah, it's good to see you again. So what I wanted to know, Cheryl kind of got most of my question, so that's why I look up to her as a role model. But the question that I had for you was, how are you going to incorporate this coaching experience that you had into your play over the next year? And also, is this going to be the next career move for Kahleah?
I think the main thing for me out there on the floor now is being a leader. We're going to have multiple leaders on the floor, which doesn't hurt. I think I'll be able to help us in a sense of just talking to everybody about seeing different plays or whatever it is that needs to be seen out there in the court. But I think really the communication factor, because just with coaching, I just noticed that when everybody's communicating and everybody's talking, and whatever you see, you can just communicate that to anybody. And it just makes everything go much smoother. But as far as my next move, I could definitely see that in the future, me coaching. I had a great time. I had some amazing players. And they were just like sponges. They just wanted to learn. They allowed me to learn with them, allowed me to get better with them, work out with them. So I think that the group that I had, they were really special because they got me really excited to be a coach and to be able to help and inspire and to teach.
Excellent. Let's see. I had one other question about how Candace has influenced you in your playing, and also how do you see your role in terms of connecting with Candace?
I think she's, like I said before, she's just challenged me defensively. And I think I've been doing a good job of just trying to do what's been asked of me defensively, but I'm still trying to get where I need to go. But also I think Candace is helping me see the game differently.
How so? How so?
Oh, just because like, so I'm for instance, just one example, just coming off the pick and roll, like she's like, you don't have to score it coming off the pick and roll. You can give it up early and the ball come back to you, then you're attacking closeouts. And it makes so much sense because I'm coming off pick and rolls and everybody's there. And I'm thinking that, oh, I just got to go. But, you know, she's been there, done that, had to guard us from being in LA. She told both of us, me and Diamond, just about how people are going to guard us and how us being better passers is going to open up things for us.
It's great. Thank you so much. Great answers. Appreciate it.
James K.
Hey, Kahleah, thanks so much for your time. Obviously, like you just talked about, your relationship with Candace is growing on the court, but can you talk a little bit about your relationship off the court? Like, have you had one before she signed with the Sky, or can you just go talk a little bit about that?
No, I didn't really know her personally off the court, but we're getting to know each other. We're going to the dog park tomorrow, so working on that right now.
Hello?
Yep, James, you have another question? Okay, I guess not. Thank you, Ka.
Done?
Yep, you're all set. Thank you.
Don't ever let James let y'all think that he got to stop against me. Thank y'all. See you later.
Can't wait to send him that video. He definitely will have fun with it. We'll have Natasha Mack up next. Hi, Natasha. Thank you so much for joining us with your first media validation. Number 16 overall in the WNBA draft, and only the 6th player from Oklahoma to ever be drafted in the WNBA. How was your first week of camp?
It was very intense. I didn't expect what I expected, but well, you know, I really expected to first like really die when I got here, but it's just more intense and learning. And so it's been pretty good.
Great. We'll start with Eric Wilson.
Natasha, you know, congrats on being selected and welcome to the Sky, first and foremost. When draft night, when they were interviewing you, you said that something that was pretty profound. You said you're going to make sure that every team knows why you should have been drafted in that first round. Can you kind of expand upon that and talk to us about where that drive and that tenacity comes from?
Because I guess they feel like every post just has to step out and shoot the ball. But really, anything within perimeter wise, I'm a killer. So, you know, I have a chip on my shoulder. I personally felt like I should have went first round, but I didn't. So it just builds the fire to the flame. And so it just makes me want to go harder and be better than everybody that steps on the court.
And I think it's definitely showing, because in the past 2 interviews with James, when he spoke about you, you know, he spoke about not only your length, but just the fact that effortlessly you can move the ball. When it comes to working with the Sky and working with such athletes such as a Diamond Kahleah or even a Candace Parker, what part of your game do you feel you're going to bring as an added dimension to this team?
Definitely my hustle up and down the court and rebounding, and being a great defensive player.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Annie Cosco.
Thanks for your time, Natasha. You know, obviously making this roster is a challenge in itself, and you and I have already spoken one-on-one, but I wanted to hear after this first week how you are you using your defensive prowess as, you know, that thing that's going to make you a player that cannot be let go?
Oh yes, of course. You know, we have great players that can like move the ball, score, really great players. And so I can just pick up defense wise and I'm like really good at that. I'm learning a lot of new things. I'm trying to still get used to this 3 seconds in the paint, but once I get that down, I'll be pretty great. And it'll be hard to let go.
And then one quick follow-up. You know, yeah, James did talk about your adjustment to the speed of the game, and I wonder if you could elaborate on some things that you know, you have had to adjust to in this first week.
I really just have to adjust with spreading the floor and defense to 3 seconds, because in college you don't have that, and so I have to adjust to that. And then, you know, also have people like telling me, helping me out where I should be at the right times and right moments, which is very helpful. And like, I soak it up very quick and I apply it to the game.
Awesome. Thank you.
Zachary Draves.
Alrighty. Hi, Natasha. How you doing?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good. So just a few days into training camp, you know, just kind of wanting to hear your thoughts on what it's been like to get out onto the court and do your thing.
It feels great because I haven't been on the court since March. And so it feels great to have legends, you know, learning from them. It's great. Kansas Parker, Stephanie Dawson, Diamond, it's amazing. I just feel like it's really a dream come true.
Absolutely. And then just a quick follow-up to that, what do you think will be your biggest contribution to the Chicago Sky?
My length and my speed and blocking shots.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Natasha.
Sue Favor. Okay. Sylvia.
Hi, Natasha. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good. What have you learned the most, or how would I say this? What's been the most challenging during training camp?
Remembering all the plays, because all the coaches' patience are low. Once they teach you once, it's like you have to just get it. You have to roll with it. And so mine is just remembering a certain amount of plays.
Thank you.
Chantel Jennings.
Hey, Natasha, thanks for your time today. You just mentioned the opportunity to learn from legends on your own team, some of whom have been playing in the league since you were in elementary school, middle school. I'm just curious, as you've had conversations with them, there's obviously more to being a pro than just what happens on the floor. Have you had a chance to talk with people like Candace about, you know, having a career that can maybe span multiple decades in the league?
Yeah, I really had a conversation with Steph. She's great. She just told me the things that keep me here and what I could do off the court as well. And so that's been very helpful.
Great. Hannah Shinson.
Hi, Natasha. Thanks for being here. I know before your stint at Angelina College, you maybe experienced some burnout. And I just was curious, what do you do to keep a watch on your mental health, keep up with your mental health, and make sure that you're in the best headspace you possibly can be for now, like this next opportunity?
I make sure I just don't all like keep it all in. I talk to someone, whether it's a close friend, my mom, I don't keep it all to myself, because that's what really got me the first time, is just not having someone to listen to me.
Thank you.
No.
Hi, Natasha. How you
Hi.
doing today?
I'm great. How
Um,
are you?
Good. I just wanted to ask you, your time at OSU, you were known for your defense, and you're now getting a chance to play next to or learn from the 2020 Defensive Player of the Year in Candace Parker. Can you share about some of the things she has taught you, or some of the things that you are learning from her to add to your defensive game and your defensive mentality?
Like I said, if I mess up on a defense thing, she'll pull me to the side and tell me exactly where to be and how to get there faster, or stop this or stop that. And so she makes sure I have it down before either stepping on the court or going on to the next thing. And I greatly appreciate that because she's a legend. And so just to, follow her footsteps and be next to her learning is great.
Thank you so much.
Zachary Draves. Okay, Allison Moran.
Hey, Tasha, it's so nice to meet you. I'm very happy to have you on the Chicago Sky, and I had wanted to find out from you what kind of game skills do you see yourself bringing? You mentioned your speed. You mentioned defensive capabilities, all of which were very evident in college and through the honors that you've had. Do you feel like you're in a position where you can also teach as well at this point?
At this point, I honestly do not feel like I'm in a position to teach at all because I'm still soaking it in. I still make mistakes and I'm still learning. By this time next year, I'll be able to teach and help somebody who's in the same position I was.
Gotcha. Following up from that, is this something of a humbling experience for you to be in camp, and as you mentioned, with all the legends who are on this team and the depth and things like that?
It's such a humbling experience. I love every bit of it, every second, every blood, sweat, and tears.
Have you felt, well, I could do something like this differently, or what I'm used to doing, I could do it a little bit differently? Is that kind of the feeling that you have in camp?
Oh yeah, always. If I feel like I could do something better, if I have time, I ask Stephanie or Kansas or one of the coaches, what could I do better to improve this? And so their advice has been very helpful.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Tasha. I look forward to talking with you again.
Cosimo, do you have another question?
Yeah. Hi, Natasha. How are you? Can you hear me?
You sound very far away.
Okay. What about now?
It's a little bit better.
Okay. So hi, nice to meet you. How are you? And the question was about what Coach Wade said, that you've been dominating on the defensive end, getting blocks and deflections on everybody. So what was your best moment so far during training camp? Like the moment that maybe you got a block on somebody who you've been watching growing up or the last few years, and you're like, wow, I really belong. I'm really great, and I can do this.
One of my best moments was somebody else was guarding Kansas Parker, and she kind of took a dribble to my side, and so I was in the perfect position. I kind of just snatched it. I was like, "Whoa, I did that on Kansas Parker," and so I didn't really show it on the court. But when I left and I talked to my mom, I went crazy because I've had this opportunity to do that.
Okay, thank you very much, and congrats on being drafted. It's my first year with the WNBA too. I was following the NBA before, so we're starting together actually. So it's great.
Thank you. Don't tell Kansas though, because she really might try to do me in next practice.
Oh, I think it's recorded, so I don't know. It's gonna get out.
Oh, it'll get out. It'll get out.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
I'm gonna deny it, but it's recorded, so I don't know. Bye. Thank you.
Chantel Jennings.
Oh, sorry, I was muted a year into this. I still can't figure it out. A follow-up from what you've said a few times that, you can't, coaches just want to teach you once. If you mess up after they've taught you once, there's not a lot of room for error in the WNBA. I'm just curious, as you've gotten to this level through training camp so far, have you done anything differently to sort of study anything different from your college days to make sure that you're like even more of a sponge, or are you going home and like taking more notes, watching more film than you've ever watched?
Yeah, I'm constantly looking over the plays. Before practice even starts, I'm always asking questions about the play. Like, okay, so if this happens, I go here and I do that. And like, I'm asking about each play. I'm remembering each spot that I can. And so that has helped a lot.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Natasha. And thank you all for joining us. We're really happy to have you this season.
Thank you.
We are off tomorrow, so we will see you on Sunday. Thank you.